Let's face it, humans are a bizarre bunch. Some of us gnaw on our own fingernails like they are gourmet snacks, while others stretch and squeeze their fingers until their joints crack like a bag of microwave popcorn. Ever caught yourself pressing your knuckles until you hear a pop and thinking, "Ah, satisfaction"? Yeah, you're not alone. But why do we do these odd little things that don't serve any clear purpose? We're diving into the weird world of human habits, from biting off bits of ourselves to turning our hands into bubble wrap. It's more science than sheer madness. The curious case of nail biting. Nail biting, or if you want to sound super fancy at your next dental cleaning, onychophagia is one of those oddly satisfying habits that many people pick up as kids and carry into adulthood, like an unwanted subscription you forgot to cancel. Most of the time, it's harmless unless you're chomping down to the nub like your fingers owe you money. But when it crosses the line into the extreme, we're talking bleeding nails, constant chewing, or looking like you tried to eat your manicure. It falls into a category called pathological grooming. Dramatic name, right? Sounds like your cuticles went goth. But it's actually a real mental health concern, and includes behaviors like chronic nail biting, obsessive skin picking, and even compulsive hair pulling. So yes, while it can be a nervous tick, it's also your brain's twisted version of a stress ball, with the unfortunate side effect of leaving you with fingers that look like they survived a lawnmower. What's really going on when you crack your knuckles? Yes, the infamous knuckle cracker sound that either delights your soul or makes nearby strangers visibly twitch. We have all heard the warning: stop doing that, you'll get arthritis. But fear not, fellow finger poppers, because science says that's complete nonsense. For decades, even experts were not exactly sure what caused that satisfying snap. But in 2015, researchers finally cracked the code. Pun fully intended, and not remotely regretted. The culprit. Something called cavitation via tribonucleation, which sounds like a Harry Potter spell, but is just nerdy physics for bubble making. There's fluid in your joints filled with dissolved gas, and when you pull your fingers apart, the pressure changes and a gas bubble rapidly forms. That pop you hear, it's the sound of the bubble forming, not bursting. So you're not ruining your joints, you're just turning your hands into a one-man bubble show. Party trick? Absolutely. Medical emergency? Not even close. So, why do we even have habits? You'd think, after millions of years of evolution, we'd have moved past the stage of biting our nails like confused squirrels, or cracking knuckles like we're gearing up for a wrestling match. But nope. Turns out habits are a core function of our wonderfully lazy brains. A structure deep in the brain called the basal ganglia plays a big role in motor control and, surprise, surprise, habit formation. When we repeat an action enough, our brain basically shrugs and says, "Cool, I'm going to automate this so you can focus on more important things, like wondering if you left the stove on." The task then gets filed away in the "Don't Think About It" folder, right next to song lyrics you didn't ask to memorize and your third-grade teacher's birthday. It's all about saving brain power, even if that means forming weird little habits that make your hands look like they're constantly under construction. Meet the habit loop. You've got a hangnail, and it's driving you bananas. It stings, it's distracting, and it's mocking you every time you glance at your hand. So, without thinking twice, you lean in and chomp it off like it's the last fry in the box. Boom, pain gone, peace restored. That tiny moment of satisfaction, it's exactly what psychologists refer to as the habit loop. It's made up of three core elements: the trigger, your rebellious little hangnail; the action, the bite; and the reward, sweet, glorious relief. Your brain, always looking for shortcuts like it's late for a meeting, locks this process in. Suddenly, you're biting your nails mid-zoom, mid-date, mid-life, like a ninja assassin of your own cuticles. Who knew your fingers could become both a stress relief tool and your personal chew toy? Knuckle cracking. Reward without a cause. Unlike nail biting, which at least has a pain-based excuse, knuckle cracking is the mystery meat of human habits, It's oddly satisfying, but nobody really knows why. Scientists like Dr. Rachel Vreeman think the reward lies in the physical release it brings. Others argue it's the sound like popping bubble wrap but more intimate. Maybe it's your body's version of a mic drop, no context, just pop. For some, it's a stress reliever. For others, it's a fun party trick that gets you banned from quiet libraries. Either way, if you're not breaking your joints or your grandma's nerves, it's probably fine. Just maybe warn the person sitting next to you before you start cracking like a glow stick. Your brain is kinda lazy, and that's okay. Your brain is a world-class delegator. It loves putting tasks on autopilot, so it can chill out and save energy for more pressing questions like, did I leave the stove on? Or what's for lunch? Once a behavior becomes routine, the basal ganglia takes over, letting your decision-making center, the prefrontal cortex, kick back with a latte. That's why you suddenly realize mid-conversation that you are chomping away at your nails like you're trying to find the prize inside. As for how long it takes to build a habit, somewhere between 15 and 254 days, which is basically science's way of saying it depends on everything, including how recently you have seen a motivational Instagram post. In short, your brain is lazy but efficient, kind of like a cat that can still open the treat jar. When habits become problematic. Most habits are like background music, harmless, sometimes annoying, but easy to ignore. But when those habits start to cause real physical damage, think bleeding fingers, patchy bald spots, or teeth that look like you've been chewing rocks, it's time to pay attention. At that point, it may not just be a bad habit, but part of a deeper psychological issue. Behaviors like chronic nail biting, hair pulling, and skin picking can fall under pathological grooming, often linked to OCD and listed in the DSM-V, basically the mental health Bible. The Indian Journal of Dental Research even calls it a stress removal habit, which is a nice way of saying your brain decided chewing on your own fingers was the best way to calm down. And while that's a creative coping mechanism, your body might prefer bubble baths and therapy over self-cannibalism. Blame it on your genes, matey. Still wondering why you specifically are a nail-munching machine while your cousin has perfectly untouched, Pinterest-worthy cuticles? Genetics might be to blame. A twin study from the 1970s, yes, bell-bottoms and nail-biting, examined 338 twin pairs and found that identical twins who share 100% of their DNA were far more likely to share the habit than fraternal twins, who only share about 50%. The researchers also found that girls were slightly more prone to nail nibbling than boys. So if your family chews their nails like bunnies attack baby carrots, don't feel too guilty, it might be your ancestors' fault. Think of it as a quirky family tradition, like bad dancing at weddings or fighting over who controls the thermostat. How to kick the habit. Alright, now that we've giggled our way through the weirdness, let's get serious. You absolutely can break a habit. But no, there's no magical anti-bite spell. Sorry, Hogwarts grads. It takes effort, patience, and a few clever tricks. The secret lies in dragging your behavior out of autopilot, bringing it back under the spotlight of your decision-making brain, the prefrontal cortex. That's why bitter nail polish, bandages, or even a rubber band snap can be surprisingly effective. They scream, "Hey, pay attention," every time you go in for a bite. Think of it like retraining a toddler, except the toddler is your subconscious, and it really likes chewing on your thumbs. Just keep at it. Each moment of awareness chips away at that habit loop, like hitting unsubscribe, until your inbox and hands are finally clean. If you enjoyed diving into the weird world of nail biting and knuckle cracking, give this video a big thumbs up. Got a quirky habit of your own? Share it in the comments. We promise not to judge. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our next brain-tickling episode. Thanks for watching, and remember, hands off the nails, unless you're giving us a like.